But I'm also feel like I want to give people that don't necessarily feel like they, and I don't want to say need to start on a 400, but maybe want to. Like, I want to give people that answer too, like the people who aren't too sold on wanting to start on a 400, if that makes sense. So I'll give you my input and my knowledge that I have. Alright, well, this is what we're on today. We're on the 2024 ZX6R, and we're gonna have a little chat about starting on a 600. Let's get into it. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brizzy Man. It's about 50 degrees today. A little windy. A little bit of leaves kind of in the road too today, so we might have to take it a little chill today. We're just gonna have a little chat. Before we get into our video, I just want to say, make sure you subscribe if you're new. You drop a like, drop a comment if you're here. Drop a like, be active. Let me know that you're here. If you like something, you know, tell us about it. Tell us about it down below. Subscribe for more. Drop the Nerdy Gang. I know I said that twice, but you know what I'm saying? It's important. So today's video, we're going to be talking about a question that I actually get a lot, and different variations of this question. I get a lot of different variations of this question, but it's somewhere on the lines of, should I start on a 600? And what my experiences are on, you know, transitioning from a 400 to a 600, or just my thoughts on being on a 600 bike. We're just gonna go by answering this, is giving you my thoughts. I didn't prepare for this video a whole bunch. I'm just gonna kind of just talk about it with you guys. Kind of want to go somewhere that's not super busy though, like. Okay. I think it's a good place to start. So, I don't think there's any short answer for this. I think this is a multi-layered question, and it has a lot of different variables inside to get a clear answer. So, my quick answer is this. I think everybody should start on a 400. I think everybody should go to the MSF course and complete it. And I think everybody should take their time, because people die on motorcycles. And that's the quick answer, right? But I'm also feel like I want to give people that don't necessarily feel like they and I don't want to say need to start on a 400, but maybe want to. Like, I want to give people that answer too, like the people who aren't too sold on wanting to start on a 400, if that makes sense. So I'll give you my input and my knowledge that I have. I'll start off by giving you my story. So I grew up on dirt bikes, but not like a whole lot. Like, you know, I just understood balance and how to ride a motorcycle. I guess that's a good place to start. So I had that advantage before going to a street bike. So the summer before I got my first street bike, I got a dirt bike, right? I think I want to say this was like summer of 2020. I bought a little dirt bike just because I knew that I eventually wanted to, you know, take it on the street. I think I'm gonna split these guys on. I eventually want to take it on the street, so. And I knew that would be something I'd want to do, so I started on my dirt bike, right? And this is before I even thought I wanted a motorcycle. It kind of developed once I got my dirt bike, because I don't live where I can ride my dirt bike all the time. You know, I live closer to the city than anything else, right? So I was just like riding in my neighborhood, and I was like, you know, I just kept riding in my neighborhood. I figured out how a motorcycle worked, and, you know, just like regular maintenance, stuff like that, you know. took that little summer to figure that out, and it was part of the summer. By the end of the summer, I sold it. So at the beginning of the summer, I bought it, sold it for a little profit, let out, like, you know, saying about my brand. I'm a bit of man first. You feel me? The next summer, I started on a 400. Okay, and I think it's a good decision that I started on a 400, just because motorcycles are dangerous. Like, that's just the bottom line. It's just the bottom line. Motorcycles are dangerous, and they do fucking kill people. Like, that's just the bottom line. And so it's just something that, like, I don't want to rush it, you know. Like, I don't need a rush to go straight to a bike, you know what I'm saying? So I started on my 400, but I had a background in dirt bikes and, you know, vehicles like that. Let me go in here. I don't know where the fuck I'm at. I have great balance. You know, I did BMX, I did skateboards, I did all that. Like, I know it's different, but it's the same sense and instinct, if that makes sense. Like, balance is, you know what I'm saying? You know you got good balance, you know if you're clumsy, you know, things like that, right? I know I got good balance. I know that I'm aware. I know that, like, my IQ for most things, I pick up on things most people don't, and I'm always gonna be my life first, right? That's just, like, right there I sped up on that because I wasn't gonna take the risk of him turning in front of me. So, like, that's another reason I'll get to on why I went to a 600 so quick when I did. So I had my 400. Keep in mind, here's my build. I'm about 6 foot 6'1". I fluctuate between about 250 pounds, like somewhere around there, right? Like, I'm not a small guy, I'm a big dude. Like, a 400 was small for me, but I bit the bullet and I started with it just because I wanted to be safe. And do I regret it? No. Did I outgrow it way faster than I thought I would? Fuck yeah, I did. Alright, I put 900 miles on my 400 before I realized I needed a bigger bike. And I'm a bigger dude, like, that played a role into it. But also, on a 400, you're waiting for that power to hit you. Like, that power delivery is not instant. Like that situation that I was just in, that you guys watch, how he turned his blinker on, and I've just learned to never trust a blinker and never trust another driver. Your life is in your own hands, and trust your instincts, okay? Those are things that are important when riding a bike, right? So I noticed that on a 400, I have to wait for that power to get there to shoot through that gap. On a 600, I knew I wouldn't. Like, that power was right there, you know? But it's key to understand on a 400 how a power band works, so you can bring that information with you to a 600. So that's just a little bit about my story. So I'll give you the speed run with a little bit less words. So I started on a 400 because it was a smart thing and the safer thing to do. Then I realized that, you know, I'm a bigger rider, and I'm advanced enough to go onto a 600, just because the 400 just wasn't enough, you know. But the 400 did teach me some lessons. It taught me how to brake. It taught me how to get out of some situations, that, you know, things like that, you know, because going from dirt to the street is different too. Like, that's an adjustment. Learning how, you know, your braking distances, being aware of other vehicles, being aware of animals, being aware of leaves and just debris, just things like that, you know. Because on a dirt bike here, it's a little bit, you know, more relaxed. Like, you know, it's just dirt, and dropping your bike and hitting the ground is kind of part of the game when you're on a dirt bike, you know. Sometimes motorcycles, you never want to drop your bike and you never want to hit the dirt. So but now, if I'm being realistic, can people start on 600s? Yeah, you know, I think people can start on 600s that already have, like, somewhat of a motorcycle background, or somewhat of a like, operating a clutch, know how to brake, you trust your balance. You're not learning, if that makes sense. But if you're learning to ride a motorcycle, learn on a 400, you know what I'm saying? But if you've already learned how to ride a two-wheel motorized, you know, machine, and you're comfortable with your balance, and you're comfortable with weaving in and out of situations, and, you know, you're comfortable with tightrope in some situations, then you can start on a 600. Is that what you should do? I don't think you should. I still don't think that you should, just because a 600's power really won't compare to anything that you've been on until you've been on a 600. And that's the longer answer. Now let's talk about if you are just gonna make that jump. You know that you don't want to do a 400, and you know that you just know your inner self, and you're like, yeah, I know I should get a 400, but I'm not going to. Like, if you could just be honest with yourself and you're that person, this part of the video is for you. Okay, so if you are gonna get a 600, this is my advice. The 600, like I said, you're not gonna understand the power of a 600. Not that it's super overly crazy powerful, but it is powerful. You're not gonna understand the power of a 600 until you've ridden a 600. So with that being said, just respect it. Err on the side of caution no matter what you're doing, you know? Like, even once you feel like you get that false sense of comfort, because it's always false. It's always a false sense of comfort. Just still respect it and be conscious of that, okay? So if you are gonna go on a 600 and you're gonna bypass your 400, respect the power, respect the bike, and just, you know, be safe. Err on the side of caution. Those are the things I'll say. So with that being said, let's sum up this video a little bit. Our first note is, yes, everyone should start on a 400 in my opinion. Everyone should give it a try and then level up. Someone's always going to be looking for a Ninja 400. There's always going to be people starting. And that is, in my eyes, that is the best starter bike, just because there's a lot of parts access for it. A lot of parts are accessible for it. A lot of people are going to be looking at it, so when it's time to sell, it's not going to be hard to get off. Like, there might be a more perfect 400 bike out there, but as far as, you're going to outgrow it. So just get the bike that's going to sell. That's just me being honest. So I think everybody should start on a Ninja 400. It's just gonna be good for you. You're gonna learn how to ride a bike. You're gonna learn how a power band works comfortably. You're gonna learn how to maneuver in traffic. It's a lighter bike. You're gonna learn how to lean how you would like to, it's just a good intro bike. So I think everybody should start on a 400 until they're very comfortable, and then they should go on to a 600. Now, there are going to be the anomalies like myself and other people that have the balance and know how to ride motorcycles on a fundamental level. Maybe not on a legal level, but on a fundamental level, right? So, for us guys I started on my 400, I rode for 900 miles, which is not a long time, and I went right to my 600. For the people that want to plan to do that, I think that's great. If you have the patience to do that 100%. Try that 400, get a feel for it. If you know the bike's too small and you're honest with yourself and you know that you can respect the 600 when you get it, then do that. Go get that 600, 100%. I'm actually all for that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you outgrew it faster than other people, that's fine. You still took the stepping stone though and outgrew it. And then for the last part, for the people that want to go straight to that 600, right? Do I think you should? Probably not, right? No, that's just me being honest. Is it doable? For sure. It is for sure doable, but it's for the right situation and the right style of people. For the people that are patient, for the people who are gonna respect the bike, and for the people that are gonna err on the side of caution and make safety in their life and everybody else's life first. So yeah, that's kind of my take on should you start on a 600. But before we leave the video, I do want to talk about some pros and some cons. Pros of starting on the 600, you're gonna have plenty of growing room. You're gonna have plenty of time to grow on the bike. You're not gonna get a 400 perfectly how you want it and then have to sell it to somebody else. Like, you know, you're gonna be spending double on upgrades, you know, and stuff, because you're gonna sell that bike and then you're gonna have to do the same thing to the 600, get it exactly how you want it. So I think that's a pro of starting on the 600. Another pro is you're gonna have access to all the speed that you want. You're gonna feel like you're not on a little bitch pussy bike. Like, there's that aspect of it. And is a 400 a little bitch pussy bike? No. But will you feel like it? Yes. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Yes, you will. Once you get comfortable with it. At first you're gonna be like, oh, okay, this 400 has more power than I thought, right? But then when you get that false sense of comfort, like I was which I was talking to you guys about earlier, you're gonna feel like, oh yeah, maybe I could have just went to a 600. I think that's a pro too, is that you're gonna have access to enough power, and you're gonna feel like right in the middle of the motorcycle community. You're like, oh yeah, I don't got a 1000, but I got a, you know, but I got a 600. Like I'm in the door, like my foot's in the door, you know, type of deal. Another pro is you won't have to buy your upgrades twice if you know you're gonna outgrow it. If you feel like you got that hunch, you're gonna outgrow a 400 quick. Like I'm saying, you won't have to buy your mirrors twice and your fender eliminator twice and your exhaust twice, because you're only gonna have to make your upgrades once because you got a bike you're gonna grow into. Another pro too is out on the freeway, you'll have access to that power. So freeway riding will be easier on a 600, just because you don't have to wait for that power, and the wind won't throw you around as much because they are heavier. So there's that point of it too. That's a pro. Let's talk about the cons of a 600. Let's talk about the first con that most people just need to hear and don't understand. Insurance. Bro, insurance is fucking expensive. On a 600, you're gonna be paying out the ass to ride your motorcycle. That's just a fact, bro. And I'm just being honest with you. You're gonna be paying out the ass to ride this motorcycle. You better, you know, get that right. And if you want to know, my bike is brand new. That's probably why mine is so expensive. But I pay $175 a month just to insure my motorcycle. Yeah, I'm 26 with no fucking accidents, or with no tickets. I do have some accidents that were not my fault. I will put that disclaimer. I have 2 accidents that were not my fault, and only one that was like ended in my car being totaled. One of them this lady just blew through a light and hit me, and the other one was I got sideswiped. So those are my 2 accidents that I had, and my insurance is $177, and I'm over 25. So just throwing that shit out there. Like insurance, a con, insurance is a motherfucker, right? Another con is that you might not be used to the power. It's a double-edged sword. It's nice to have it, but you may not know how to understand it, and it gets you into a fucked up situation. So if you don't have any riding experience, definitely don't start on a 600. Any riding experience, definitely don't start on a 600, bro. Like learning how to operate a clutch, learning how to move a brake, like learning how to brake properly, learning how to maneuver a bike in high risk situations is so invaluable and so important. So get those down before you get a 600. So that's gonna be a con. A lot of that power, it's a con. It's a double-edged sword. It's a pro and a con. Another con is just it's overall just more dangerous. It's more risky due to the power, due to the weight. Due to the power, due to the weight, due to the access of power right in your hand. Besides those things, but they are major differences. Don't give it twisted. So if you are able to respect it. If not, don't do it, bro. Start on the 400. You just gotta be honest with yourself. That's something that's not easy to do. That's my take. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate y'all fucking with me, man. Drop a like on the video. Drop a comment if you're new. Join the Noti Gang. We're on the road to 11,000 subscribers. And you know, it's your boy Rizzy. Till next time, I'm gonna go get my hair cut. I'm out. Peace.